and in space. Our home, our civilization, our human innovations. How could the omission of two simple digits affect the destiny of all humankind? Y2K, what does it mean? How will it affect you, your family, your community, your nation, our world? Y2K, how can we prepare individually? How can we work together as global neighbors to make the best of whatever may occur before and after January 1st of the year 2000? Y2K, from its historical roots to its possible effects on the future of civilization. Effects that are so complex that perhaps only chaos theory could calculate the multiple ramifications of what may occur. It is our primary goal in this program to help families and communities across the world to prepare and to work together regardless of what may or may not occur as a result of Y2K. There still exists, even in 1999, a general state of either denial, complacency, or even apathy about both the reality and the potential effects of Y2K. And unless we appreciate what may occur, we may not be ready, either individually or as a civilization. In dead of winter, at the stroke of midnight, January 1st, 2000, elevators may stop. Heat may vanish. Credit cards and ATMs may cease to function. Airplanes and trains may come to a halt. Telephones and televisions may not utter a sound. Water delivery systems may not deliver water for cooking, drinking, or bathing. Streetlights, stoplights, lights in buildings everywhere may flicker out. Hospitals, clinics, pharmacies may be unable to provide proper medical care. Banks and stock markets around the world may suffer some form of meltdown. And nuclear power plants may cease to generate the electricity we need for all aspects of our daily lives.
What is going to happen is a combination of events, hundreds of thousands of events, literally across the globe, that will affect other systems.
One of the key aspects of chaos theory is the idea of sensitive dependence on initial conditions, which basically means that one small thing happening over here can eventually cause really big things to happen on the other side of the world.
You will start to see systems coming down.
That you have a potential for power outages, water outages.
My main worry is the energy grid.
And if we can't get power, we can't get water.
Water will be available in most municipalities, but I am convinced there are some where the water system will break down.
It'll be more like a cancer where one little problem kind of leads to another problem, is connected to another problem.
I think we should all prepare ourselves for a ground war.
I expect we will have brownouts and regional blackouts.
Communities will have disruptions, and maybe this other community will have a different disruption than this one.
So it's something that is totally unpredictable.
And it will just kind of spread. And
I spoke with a lady at the IRS here a few months ago, and she had 3,000 people working on the year 2000 conversion, still can't get it completed by the year 2000.
I think there are individual banks that will probably go bankrupt. There are individual credit unions that will disappear over this issue.
We get people who email us and say, I'm a Y2K fixer at a major bank, and every time we try it, it crashes.
There are medical machines that will fail in ICU units.
What we're finding are computer programs that don't work.
The hospital's revenue stream may stop, just dead stop.
Some people will die.
not doing anything about the Y2K problem could lead to failure of up to 330,000 small businesses.
You know, things just kind of topple over one after the other.
We're talking about a loss of a way of life, you know, our dependence on this uninterrupted life in which the energy grid supplies a lot of our needs on a daily basis.
You're going to see some real dislocation, panic, fear.
And the problem globally is worse than it is here.
The people that are going to get a gun and a year's supply of food and run to the mountains will find a lot of other people with guns in the mountains in a bad mood. So it's best to stay in your community. This is a community problem. We handle it at the community level.
If the immediate response is to buy machine guns and camouflage and lock ourselves off from our neighbors, well, then what's happening is what's in the human heart is boiling to the surface.
One of the things that the Y2K event is likely to initiate is a rediscovery of community. Most people today have lost touch with community. We live lives that are very insulated from one another.
Now, in most of the manuals put out by the Red Cross and FEMA, it tells you to put a plastic trash bag in your toilet and use the toilet normally, seal the bag when it's sufficiently finished. But that is one of the most destructive things we can possibly do, and I urge everybody, as I have done for years, do not use plastic bags for your toilet. As soon as you seal the bag, the waste inside starts to cook.
The next thing you want to do is really get stuff that you eat, that you're used to eating, that will last into the year 2000. There's tons of things such as tuna fish, potted meat, all kinds of potted meat products, bean products.
And so we're urging that people prepare food, water, other things for about a month to 6 weeks. The other aspect of that is that we're urging people strongly not to think that they can survive this alone. This is about community. It's about networks. And so beyond about a month, you have to be networked and you have to be in community. There's no way any one family could lay aside, enough food, enough resources to survive this thing on their own.
You will need handy tools such as duct tape, a handsaw, crowbar, hammer and nails, pliers, screwdrivers and rope. Tell your children they don't have to worry about Y2K because your family will be prepared if the water or electricity goes out for a few days.
I'm going to buy a generator and at least enough of water for a month's supply of food.
Basically, we're prepared for a couple of 3 months.
Why don't you test yourself? Why don't every home test? Why not go home next weekend? Why not Friday night, turn the box off, turn the electric off, go shut the water off, okay? Have a few bucks in your pocket, see what you need.
Y2K is a computer problem, but it's going to face the individual with their own reality. And whatever that reality is, it's going to face you face to face with a mirror. And in that mirror, there's going to be you.
The experts that we're dealing with indicate that it's going to hit hard and heavy for a while, maybe look like what some are calling a meltdown scenario for a week or two, and then it's going to level out more to brownout.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how bad the Y2K is going to be globally, 5 being the worst, I would say globally they're at a 5. In the States, we have been at a 4. I think we're going to end up about a 2.
My personal sense of this is in the range of 3. I think there are going to be major disruptions. I think there are going to be things that we can deal with, but it won't be easy.
I would say a 3.
I think maybe we're looking at maybe a 3. I think based on the utility companies, I think there will be some power outages or we'll have brownouts in some cases.
I would say that it would probably fall around a 3 or a 4.
My personal opinion is it can only be a 5. It can't be any less than a 5.
In a very real way, we're all responsible for Y2K, and there's no one to blame, morally or otherwise. We've all benefited from the technologies which have improved our lives, and we have therefore encouraged those same technologies to develop at ever more accelerated rates. And yes, perhaps we are now realizing that we've taken them a bit for granted, and have indeed become too dependent upon the byproducts of our collective innovations. And so, we must not only prepare as families and work together as neighbors, but we need also use this moment in the development of our civilization as an opportunity to look at the long-range effects of all our human endeavors. Looking beyond Y2K, whatever perils our very human ambitions and short-sightedness may lead us to, our even more powerful human spirit will find a way to overcome. So, let us use the Y2K challenge as an opportunity to reflect on where we're headed as a civilization. Perhaps the most important opportunity we've ever had. If the omission of 2 simple digits can have worldwide impact several decades after its inception, we must ask ourselves, before we rush too far forward, what are we doing now in genetic engineering, with cloning, with the development of bacteriological warfare life forms, with death ray technologies, and pollution of land, air, and water that could have long-term, unpredictable worldwide effects? And what can we do as the inheritors, the caretakers of this world? What can we do to protect our home, our island in space?
If you would like more information about my educational materials regarding Y2K, my newsletter or other products, please call 1-800-948-8301.